Vietnam is famous for Halong Bay, its beautiful rice fields, French colonial architecture, rich history, and its cuisine such as pho. In spite of having a population of around 100 million, Vietnam surprisingly only ranks 73rd for countries with the most McDonald's outlets, with the first one opening only as recently as 2014. This is my experience of trying McDonald's in Vietnam.
Well, it's been a long testing day, long 10-11 hour flight, some jet lag and sorting things out, but we've got to get this done. Trying McDonald's in Hanoi, Vietnam. When it's your first time setting foot in the country, one of my first thoughts is, what have they actually done with the McDonald's menu? Have they put their own personality on it? Have they stayed true to the classics? I started flicking through, so the first one I noticed kept a lot of the classics, your Big Mac, your quarter pounder, your cheeseburger, your McChicken sandwiches, which is great news. There are a few little twists though. I've noticed there's a whole section of the menu dedicated to rice dishes. Off the top of my head, I think the only place I've had a rice dish in a McDonald's is actually in Qatar when I went to the World Cup, and that was pretty good. That was almost kind of like a biryani vibe, so a little bit of a kick with the rice there, pilau rice rather than sort of basmati rice, but this one does look like it's more basmati rice, so this is sort of something a little bit different I haven't seen before. And sort of getting the fried chicken on the side, it's almost sort of a steer a little bit towards KFC, but then even at KFC you're more likely to get fries rather than rice, so this is something a little bit different. So standard deal, 2 pieces of chicken come with it, presumably a breast piece and a leg piece. Quite a decent chunk of meat by the looks of it. Looks like it's crispy. Let's dive in. Decent. I haven't scrimped on the meat there. Now, sometimes you're a little bit sceptical when you get a piece of chicken. You want to know what is the ratio of coating to meat, and here it is predominantly chicken, which is what you want, but you've still got enough of the seasoning to taste the flavour there. Now, one of the things I did notice when I was finalising my choices was I think it is described as the most spicy variation of fried chicken, and it is. When you first bite into it, you think this is just like a standard KFC, and then after about 2 seconds you get that aftertone kick of the spice in there. What I am glad to say though is it's not an overpowering spice. So sometimes when you go to places they just overdo it, and all you can sense is the spice, which sort of detracts from the flavour of the chicken. But here I think they've got the balance right. The only thing I would say is it's not the juiciest piece of chicken I've had. It's not dry either, it's sort of in the middle. So overall pretty good, not exceptional. We have got some greens here, which I think is just standard lettuce. Let's just see what this is like. Standard lettuce, no seasoning on that. What actually comes with it is a sachet of sauce. Now obviously the classic sauces you associate with McDonald's is obviously ketchup. That is the most famous sauce of them all. I suppose mayonnaise would be the second most famous condiment that you get at McDonald's. But here we've got what's called a garlic soy sauce, which I imagine will go pretty well with this basmati rice. So let's just pour this over the rice right now. Try some of this rice, the soy infused rice that we've got here. There's 2 things I'd say there. Obviously, first of all, it's a garlic infused soy, so you've obviously got that hint of garlic coming through, as well as the saltiness of the soy, which works well with the rice. Also, I'd say is the rice, it's not just a standard basmati. This is almost, I don't want to say it's full on like sticky Thai rice, but it has got a gelatinous, I probably pronounced that wrong, quality to it. It's a little bit sticky, which is a welcome surprise. So it's not as bland as perhaps I was expecting, and like I say, combined with that sauce, it works pretty well. I did notice another side dish you don't usually see at McDonald's. Be honest, how many times do you see sweet corn at McDonald's? It doesn't look the most sort of flattering colour to it. I mean, it looks quite, I imagine maybe it's been boiled. Let's taste it. Tastes like it's been boiled, but the sweetness is there. So I think obviously sweet corn chicken go fantastically well together. So you've got the saltiness coming through that rice, saltiness in the chicken again, and a little bit of sweetness from this as well. So I think we're onto a winner here. In terms of dessert, one of the things I was really on the hunt for was a different take on the pie. Of course, we all know the famous apple pie, which is widely available, but in this part of the world it's quite famous for growing lots of tropical fruit. So I was half hoping for maybe a mango pie or a papaya pie or a guava pie, something quite exotic, but I couldn't see a pie with a different type of fruit in it. But what I did see in the McFlurry section was they have tweaked the Oreo McFlurry. You can get a standard Oreo McFlurry, but they've offered one with matcha tea in it as well. Slight confession, I am not a tea drinker. I don't drink English tea, whatever type of tea, Kenyan tea, Indian tea, I don't drink any of it. So I'm possibly not going to be the fairest critic of this one, because my starting point is possibly going to be a little bit negative, but then I do like McFlurries, so it's one of those. Let's see how it balances out. So unfortunately, because it's such a hot day, it has already half melted, which is to be expected. And you look at it and you can see the glistening chunks of Oreo cookies in there, and there is a little hint of light green, which is obviously the tea content. So let's dive in. Anything cold on a hot, humid day is welcome. So that's a plus point right there. Another plus point is I like the concept of a McFlurry. Another plus point there, chocolate Oreo cookies in there. If I'm being absolutely honest, I probably would prefer it without the matcha tea in it. But like I said, that could be just because I'm not a tea drinker, so I'm probably not the most, I'm not the fairest person to assess this. But yeah, it's not a strong tea flavour. So even though it's someone that doesn't drink tea, it doesn't overpower it. So I think you can still get away with it. But given they do sell the standard Oreo McFlurry as well as this matcha variation, I'd say stick to the original. So we've completed the McDonald's in Vietnam. First time experience here, and I think it's been a good one on the whole. The chicken dish worked well, the seasoning with the rice, which is a little bit sticky, not just your bland basmati rice. The heat wasn't overpowering on the chicken. Sweet corn, perfect side with that dish. And then the dessert, like I said, not a huge fan of tea, but still enjoyed it, very refreshing. And you're going to want something cold and refreshing when you're visiting Vietnam, because it's a very humid place here. So on balance, if I could recommend this one,